So do you remember last class what we discussed? Anyone?
One agent?
Real-time user monitoring, and we
Okay.
completed application and infrastructure observability also. I mean,
Yeah.
infrastructure monitoring.
So
All
we
the
discussed basically about RAM monitoring. Okay. We have enabled RAM, which is stand for real user monitoring. Correct?
yeah.
Okay. And we understood a little bit. We'll go more deeper in this real user monitoring today. Okay. And we have already completed our infrastructure monitoring and APM monitoring. Infrastructure we have installed just for the full stack for this other stack like discovery, yeah, infrastructure mode. We'll be doing little later on. Okay. So today we'll understand a little bit more about in the RAM. Okay, we'll understand more about in deeper in the RAM, and then we'll enable the user tag, and then we'll proceed further. Okay. So let's see that. So coming to that Dynatrace, right? So do you remember we have a few applications which is called Hotel Demo, Pet Clinic, and Easy Travel. We have enabled real user monitoring, right? So if you see that when you enable real user monitoring, what happened? How you can check that whether RAM is injected or not? Anyone idea? First thing,
exit agent. If it
in,
is exit agent is present, then
so what you have to do is you have to go to your inspect page, network tab, and reload the URL. If you find ruxit.js file, okay, JS, see in the URL, right? So it's added in your URL header itself, main domain. Okay. After that, if you go any page, suppose you go to shopping page, so this is not getting changed. You see this? This will be never get changed. If you go to any product, so this domain URL /JS got injected in your Dynatrace, so that will never get changed. Okay, so it will capture your RAM information. What we are doing a transaction as a real user, right? Buying a product, doing some transaction, ordering something. So yeah, doing some payment. So whatever, buying a flight ticket, train ticket, whatever, right? So this will get captured. So either one way is this. Second way is you can go to your view page source and check whether your Ruxit.js file is there or not. So this is the file where we have that. Okay. So once you enable that, so it will be applicable for all the applications same way. Okay. So if you want to find the application URL, you go to your application. Okay, 6 hours. And if you go to your application and check this, open this page, this arrow button. If you open this, you can find your application URLs and you can hit that. Okay, in the browser. Okay, you can find the URLs, applications URL. And once you enable, what kind of data you can see? So suppose I have enabled Angular Easy Travel. So first thing, anyone has idea about, so what are the data you see here? First is 100% what type of browser we are using. If you analyze browser performance, you can see there is no data, but it will come your data in the browser level. So like this performance level, browser level, you can capture those information. So this is your one type. What type of user is? It is a real user. Yeah, it is what kind of users? It is a real user. Geographic location, you can check that and the which area people are accessing my website. So if I'll do last 72 hours, okay, it is the same, right? I am accessing the website, so that I am doing that. So it is Karnataka, Asia. These are the things you will. This is your load action. So how much time it took to complete your page? Like this URL, right? How much time it took to complete the page? So that capture, okay, if application has a XML HTTP request, then we will capture. If it has a custom action, then it will get captured, okay? So does anyone has idea about what is the Apdex rating? Anyone?
Yeah, user experience about the user satisfaction rate.
So what is happening is, so I said this is for 0.3 seconds. So Dynatrace has a 3 types of user, remember?
Yeah.
One is satisfied user.
Tolerate user.
Satisfied. Second one is tolerating.
Frustrated.
Third one is frustrated user. If you are able to access your website 0 to 3 seconds, I can say I am satisfied. Greater than 3, less than 12, it is in second, okay? And so greater than 12. This is your Dynatrace default threshold, okay? If you would like to change it, okay, you can change it based on that. If end user, because we have enabled RAM, right? So whatever the data, if people are fetching on the RAM side, real user side, right? Based on that, if people are having any errors like loading of the page, yeah, they are getting service unavailability, they are getting some, suppose your data application has a connectivity to your database so that it will fetch the username and password. Sometimes if you log in your government website, remember, okay, ITR website, yeah, EPFO website, right? When you try to log in with the same username password, right? Sometimes your password is not valid. Then you will think that okay, might because we used to log in not regularly, right? Sometimes in 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, sometimes. So what happened is you will think that my password got expired. But ITR login password, if you log in after 1 year, right, also it won't get expired. Okay, so now you won't get connectivity. Why? Because your application does not connect with your database. That is the reason it's not fetching the information. Then you will think like, okay, my password got changed, maybe expired. I need to reset my password. All those things, right? You will do again. It will be same issue. Why? Because so now end user, as a real user, we are facing a problem. This kind of problem, right? So what happened is it will create a flag. Based on that errors, it will have a Apdex rating. What real user is facing a problem? It could be related to your application side in the RAM side. Okay. Anyway, you will get a database failed connectivity error if it is enabled. Okay. But it will also capture because real user is getting impacted, right? Because of that reason, it will give you the Apdex rating. Okay. So you can think that if your application has an Apdex rating between 0 to 0.5, it is unacceptable. Means definitely real user out of it will give you the percentage. So out of 100%, this much higher level of peoples are having an issue. If it is 0 0.2, 0 0.7, it is a poor rating. 0 0.7 to 85, fair. 85 to 94, good. 94 to 1, excellent. Okay. This will capture based on your this information. So if I'll go to my application edit, and if you say that, if you say so, like, okay, my application is loading within 4 seconds also, I'm fine with that because my image resolution is a little high, all those things. That also you can do the changes. So that is under enablement and cost control. And you not up. You see load action. So you can enable that. Suppose I can say, okay, within to 4 second range, my application is loading, I am satisfied. I can do the changes. This is for visually complete for load action. Same way, I will go with the fallback for the response also. Now, same way I can do for XHR also. Same way I can do for, because this used to keep the same threshold. Why? Because it is the same action, right? If some application has internal API, we have XML HTTP request, some you have a custom action, then it would be the same threshold. We used to put that, okay? Now, based on this rating, if user is facing any issue, it will create a flag and it will show that if your application rating as application owner, your application rating, Apdex rating is lesser than 0.7, I can assume that there is a end user is facing a problem. Okay. Now, if end user is facing a problem, so you are capturing our real user information, right? So definitely if it's an internal application, yeah, external application, it has to be captured either if you don't enable user tag. There is a concept is called user tag. If you don't enable user tag, what happened is it will capture as all the real user as an anonymous user. Why? Because they'll have a unique ID for this user, and that is anonymous. Why? Because we have not enabled user tag. Okay. Suppose you log into any website. So you might have login with your bank ID, LAN ID, your email, first name with last name, and then password. It could be, right? So definitely it would be user ID, right? So that user ID you can capture, okay, with the help of user tag. And so whoever log into the application, whatever that email, yeah, so that whatever the name will be coming, suppose this application I have logged out, so I can log in, right? You see this. So this is my database. So this is a sample application. This is the user already created in their database, okay, which is called MongoDB. So suppose I have login anyone, okay. So now I have login, so I can book a tickets from here to there, wherever you want to go, right? So I can book a ticket. Now when you book the ticket, I have captured this, so I want to capture this. So do you know how you can capture this user tag? Anyone? So to capture this user tag, you have to either there's a multiple way. One is CSS selector, okay. Then JavaScript variable. It could be your meta tag. It could be your cookies value. It could be server side. So some of the scenarios, suppose you are implementing this RUM and with the user tag for 10 application, definitely for 4 to 5 application, you have to reach out to your application team. Because you, as a front end, if you know JavaScript, if you know Java, all those things, then it will be easier for you, okay. If you don't, because most of the people who belongs to observability space, it would be very difficult to have access in the enterprise for productions, for application level, okay, because the team is different, okay. So to capture a user tag, there is a multiple way, okay. So you see in the application setting, let them load. So if I'll add, so you see, right, source type to capture a user tag, CSS selector, JavaScript variable, meta tag, cookies value, query string, and server right. If other than CSS selector, if you have any variables, you have to interact with your application team. Hey, for this application, I want to capture a user tag. Just have a 10 minutes call, half an hour calls. Tell me which is the best possible way to capture a user tag. Okay, then they'll tell you, hey, you can go with the CSS selector name, you can go with JavaScript variables, you can go with meta tag, because we don't know, right, how the application was developed. Okay, so we can capture with the meta tag. So but CSS selector, very easiest way you can try, because there is no any code level instrumentation are needed. Other than that, anything if you add, you have to add in the code level, okay. Sometimes you have to add in the query string, the DTRM object, something like that, okay. So that developer will do that. So you see how you can capture in the CSS selector any application. Just you right click, suppose this is my application, right click, I will go to my inspect page, okay. Anyone can go with that. Just to try this, okay, I'm pinging this URL. You can also open in the chat so that you'll have a clear understanding. Okay, now you click here. This is the symbol you see, right? What is the name? Select an element in the page, right? So you click here and you type here. What is the CSS selector name? Tell me. What is the CSS selector name? A dot greeting. You see that name? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is your CSS selector name for any application. Suppose this is my application, front end man, this is my application. Just to suppose this is my application. If I'll go to my inspect page and I will open this, this is my, okay, I will click here and I will click this. This is my CSS selector name. If you want the account ID you want to capture, this is your CSS selector name, okay? So you have to add this information as a CSS selector name, okay? So now, so remember, any application, you open that and right click and just you inspect page, just you click here, yeah, Control Shift C, and then select the element. It will give you the CSS selector name, okay? Most of the application, okay? Otherwise, anything you wanted to go other than that, you have to interact with your application team to enable this, okay? Because other than that, you go with any steps, okay, you have to do some code level changes. If you do code level changes, they will not allow you to do that, okay. Definitely you have to interact with application team. They will add in their code, they will build the application, they will build the package, they will deploy in dev, then you add this variables in your application argument, and then Dynatrace application edit argument, you add it and then test it. If it is, do some transaction and test whether you're capturing or not. If you don't, if they did not capture, then definitely again your application team has to do a lot of changes. So like that you have to do, okay. So now, so So you have to do this. Second thing. Now, once you capture this, there is a, if it is, suppose you have written that a dot greeting. I wrote something like capital A dot greeting, example. I can remove the case and ignore the case sensitive if it is something a capital, a small, something like that, that you can do. And there is a cleanup rule. You can write a regex. Suppose the value here is I, hi, then this, hi, dine. So now this, I don't want to capture hi, and out of first name dot last name, I want to capture only one, Diane. So this, if I want to capture Diane, then what happened is you have to write a regex. Okay, regex you can do. You can give the name something like that, and you do the AI. Okay, hey, can you provide me the regex to? I want to exclude this, that, whatever. Right? It will give you the data. Okay, one time, two times you try, right? So then you do the sample test. Suppose. So already I have done this. You see this. So you see here a dot greetings I have added. This is my CSS selector name. This is my CSS selector name. Now I have added cleanup rule, which is called hi, and this will exclude your. See, suppose I am adding hi Nischal, and if I'll test it, it will give you only Nischal. Okay, means that hi is getting excluded, and first name dot last name got getting excluded. So only Nischal is giving that. So it will be easier for you whenever you want to exclude, exclude that some of the things, right? If it is the first name dot last name, you want to capture. Sometimes some of the organization have the last name dot first name, right? So you don't want to capture last name, you want to capture first name, right? It will be very easier. It is a readable format because everyone call with the first name. So I don't want to capture last name. So you can write a regex, okay? And then you do the changes, okay? So now once you've done that, and just to do some transaction, it will start capturing your real user information as a user tag. So if you see this, if I do the transaction, open the user session, let's let me put for 6 hours. You see it is capturing. Now Diane is captured. I have login with Diane, right? You see it got captured. Some of scenario you will see anonymous also. You might have observed anyone, Vashu, yeah, anyone, because it will capture your user ID also, and it will capture your anonymous user also. Why? Anyone has idea?
Incognito mode, because
Sometimes you open your application in incognito mode, first thing. If you log in, it will capture. Doesn't mean if you open the incognito mode also. Sometimes you don't log in your application, just you, suppose you went to Amazon page. You have not logged in, you can search the product, you can see, and whenever ask login, you close this. That information also will get captured, right? Example, right? People used to do, suppose you went to incognito mode, you don't log in. I went my agoda.com. Okay. I want to see the flight ticket. So do I need to log in? No. But it will capture your user as a anonymous because somebody has logged into application. Because we are not capturing from the cookies, right? We are capturing from application. So somebody has logged in, but it does not has logged in to my application, but it will capture as an anonymous user. Sometimes it happens. Okay, people log in just as a broad something where I want to go, and then it will search and see the price and close this. That also user will get captured, which is called anonymous user. Understood? Make sense? Any questions?
yes, yes.
So this is the way you can enable your user tag. Apart from that, in the application, you want to see how the service flow is happening from front end to back end, all those things. That also you can see that. Let me show you that. How the application flow is happening, right? One service is calling to another service getting called to another service. You open this. You see how it is getting captured. This is my application. It is going to this service. Then it is going this many service. Booking service, journey service, authentication. Then there is a tool. configuration and verification service. Then this is going to your database, which is called digital business backend database, which is your MongoDB. So you see, if you go to your maybe database, if you see this database, it is not coming. Why? Because it is a inbuilt database. That is the reason it is not coming. Let me see, it is any database. No. So it will come. So whatever the transaction you see, right? So if I'll go to my front end, so it will capture that as a service flow, so that you can, each service flow, it has a how many requests. If you see this, you see on journey service, you can see how many calls is happening and what is the passing transactions. You see a web request, whatever things you want to see, right? On this service, journey service, you want to see the web request. Yeah, you want to see back to, suppose this service having an issue, you can open this. You can go from anywhere. So I can open this web request. I can see the backtrace. Response time you can see here itself, right? How much time is taking. Sorry. How much time is taking, and it's the how much load we have on this service. That also you can see that, okay? How much load we have. So 84 requests, okay? This is your infrastructure part where this application is getting deployed. Okay? Wait, select this and you see this. This is running on which Tomcat, or this is how many requests, is there any failed requests, or running on which server. This information will get captured. Now, if you go to that other things, now I am getting the request count, this journey service, how many requests, this. Now I can open this top web for this find journey. What are the URLs we have? Top web URLs. You can see the service journey service. How many requests on this? If there is any fail, you can see that. If you want to go distribute traces, which is called purepath for entire end-to-end transactions, that did metadata information that you can see in this, which is called distributed traces. Yeah, which is called purepath. Earlier they have no name. So for all unique transaction, not only find journey, you have one request, but how many times it took that, like post call was happened, for all the unique transaction, it will capture that, and whichever has a higher value. Suppose something has a issue, you can see that whichever has a higher value, it will be so, and then you can see that. So you can see in this way, okay? So 298 millisecond response time. So whichever has, suppose, response code, you can see this way, okay? Like this you can filter. So all are 200, okay? That is the reason it is giving you that. Otherwise 500 has, it will be filtered by all those things, ascending order, descending order, all those things. And then you can see their traces, and then you can go a little more deeper level, okay? So that understand that what is the issue we have. It is there on the database level or something, the issue that you can understand in the distributed traces for that unique transactions. Okay, you see that, right? All the database is getting called. So now you see this is taking 300 milliseconds. This is taking this, all the information. If you see that view log for this traces, define the analysis. So now I can getting this. You see this? If I'll click here, all the details you are getting. If there is any errors, it will capture in the error tabs. Okay, so you click here. So summary you can see, and then you see which SQL. Suppose in this refine analysis, you see that, okay, this suppose this database taking long time. Example, find journey service, but when this is going to a database, is taking how much? 168 milliseconds. In spite of that, it is taking more than 500, because database query does not take much time, okay, to give the response, okay. Now, if it's taking in terms of minute or something, then you understand that, okay, journey collection database, yeah, in this table, we having an issue. Then you can open this, and then you can see that, okay, this query has to be do some performance tuning, okay, on the database side, okay. Then you interact with your application team, show them that data, and the database team show them that information, and then they will say, okay, do some changes, and then deploy, so that will not have any other issue in the later on, okay. So this is the way we used to do little bit of tries, okay, to fix that, which is called performance engineering, which has a L2 support, L1 support. People have a front end level support, right? Those people doing this kind of information. Yeah, sometimes if has a BNM model, build and maintain model, then you have to do that, right? So now, so this is your application. So there's a different types of application also, which is called your custom application. If you go to
One second, Ravi.
Yeah, go ahead, Minister.
Ravi, on July 7th, we did only Easy Trade and Pet Clinic installations only. We didn't do that Angular Easy Trade and hotel.
Okay. Easy Trade, I just stopped. Okay, which is also running on same port. I deployed one application which is called this Angular Easy Travel. Okay, because it has a front end. Okay, it's the same. Okay, same application, same kind of application, only image is Docker Compose. This has a
Same,
little less
same.
same application because it was going Easy Trade has little more configuration, so it was going up and down. So I was testing, so I have enabled Angular Easy Travel
Yeah,
application, the
in
same
case if
application.
you have this video, Easy Travel installation video for evening batch, if you can share with us, we will also try.
Okay, Angular Digital, right? I
Yeah,
think I have uploaded in YouTube. I think you can watch that. Okay,
you uploaded in. Okay, thank
okay,
you. Thanks.
okay. It
Thanks.
is the same application. Okay, I'll give you this same one Git clone and then you Docker Compose. Okay,
Okay, okay, Ji. Okay, Ji.
I'll
Thanks.
show you that. Okay, so this is the way you can do that. Okay, apart from that, there's a multiple way which has a mobile apps and custom application. We'll talk about little later how you can inject your custom application, and because I need to have a custom application, right? So this kind of things we'll discuss little later. Okay. Okay, I will be showing that one custom application. Mobile app I don't have, so I cannot show you that. But I will tell you how you can inject it, what is the process, all those things. In any interview, there's somebody asks, hey, how you can inject for iOS, Android, tvOS, and other platform, open source platform, which is called Cordova, Xamarin, Flutter, React Native. How you can do that? I'll give you the some guidance so that you can able to just manage with during the interview, because sometimes not of 100 application, 100 organization, 2 3 organization, they might have mobile apps, and they have enabled mobile apps. Okay, so now, so moving to, and there is a something called a key user action. Okay, so here we will capture your all the errors. Okay, and there is a user behavior, it will capture in the user behavior side. You see, right? 75% user, 100% real user, geographic location, how many sessions was happened, how many sessions happened, what are the entry, what are the actions you have, do you know what is the bounce rate and what is rage click? Tell me. Sometimes in the interview they used to ask, Srini.
Not sure the bounce rate. Is this the bounce rate of the website? Sometimes it has like they have to application bounce when something goes wrong or something. Because of that, we have to bounce the application and pass it on something.
No, because
User.
sometimes what happened now, just you open any application. Okay, suppose I open this application and suddenly I close. Within a minute, I'll close. I have not done any transactions. Okay. I open the application and close this. What does it mean? It is getting bounce rate. Okay. This is called bounce rate. You open the application, okay, and without any interaction. Because now you want to interact with application, right? I want to go to find owner, then find the name. Yeah, I want to go to this page. Without doing anything, interaction, just I have closed the application. Means this is called your bounce rate. That is the reason for any application. If you see in your organization, bounce rate will be little higher. Okay, why? Because this is. And do you know what is rage click? Guys, these are the things. If you go for any interview and for any tools, okay, like a Dynatrace, Datadog, New Relic, any observability tools like a SignalFX, Splunk, which is called a Splunk Observability Cloud, yeah, Appdynamics. Any interview go, this kind of question they might ask during the interview. What is bounce rate? What is Apdex rating? What is rage click? What is rage click? Anyone? No idea? Rage click means sometimes if you click on home page, suppose sometimes you might have seen that, right? If you click here 10 times, then you open the page. Have you seen this? This kind of issue, have you faced this kind of issue in your real time?
Yes, yes. Sometimes it happens.
You click 5 times, then only it will work. Means this is called your rage click. If you're entering more times, you're clicking, and then it is getting loaded. Your application is getting loaded, not in the one click. then it is called, that is not like any code level, that is a front-end developer, whoever done that development, right, in their issue. Okay, so that is the region we used to do the lot of testing, performance testing, why they are doing manual level, all those things. Okay, in the code level you can do that API calls, all those things, you can see that sometimes this real user testing is more needed. That is the reason any application feature got added, it will go for a soak period for 10 to 15 days. Suppose you have added one more feature, you have added one more hierarchy in your organization, and that code was recently built, then it will go for a soak in the staging environment, will go for a soak period for another 1 week, 1 month, 2 weeks, something like that, and they'll ask you to validate everything as a real user. Okay, so that end user should not face any difficulty. Okay, sometimes some of the application, like mostly on the banking side, yeah, not like a private banking, government banking side, yeah. This government's website, if you click 5 times, then only it will work. Yeah, any a small startup company website, if you go right, those kind of issue you will face. Even bigger organizations sometimes also you will face. Okay, depend on the developer to developer. So this is called rage click. So rage click by default will not get enabled. Okay, it has to be enabled in the setting tab, because sometimes rage click is not needed. Okay, some of the applications more reliable, then rage click no need to enable or something like that. So sometimes we used to enable. So you see somewhere it will be capturing in the content capture. No, content already we are capturing. Timeout, this is fine. Advanced setup, this is fine. Source capturing and session replay, this is also already enabled. Custom configuration, no. You see anywhere rage click? You see, okay, now rage click by default is getting enabled. You see this? So this is your rage click. Okay, you can enable, disable, because based on the organization need, if you want to enable, you can enable, you want to disable. Basically this kind of things, right? You want to capture each and every small things from the end user side. Okay, now there is another thing which is called conversion goal. We'll discuss about little later now. Okay, which is because conversion goal you need to understand the user session mode in depth and other things also. So I will discuss conversion goal. I will hold it here and we'll discuss another topic, but we'll come to the conversion goal little later. Okay, because once you understand that request attributes, you understand the request attribute, all those things. Anyone heard about this request attributes, how you can configure all those things? Once you understand that, then we'll come to the conversion goal. Okay, so now
Journey ID, something like that, right?
yeah, so anyone heard about management zone?
Yes, sir.
So what is management zone?
Logical grouping of servers.
Not server, man.
No, sir.
So management zone, it is a logical group of application, yeah, environment. Okay, now why management zone is needed? Because this management zone concept we have only in Dynatrace, not other than any tools. If you talk about Datadog, Neural Lake, Appdynamics, Elasticsearch, Splunk Observability Cloud, Honeycomb, none of the tools have this concept which is called management zone. Okay, so management zone we used to call logical group of application, yeah, logical group of environment. Why it is needed? Okay, why it is needed? Anyone? So you have any idea? Okay, so management zone, why it is needed? Suppose you have instrumented, suppose you talk about bigger organization, 100 application. If it is a 100 application, how many server will we have? Just you assume Ballpark. I'm giving you, asking ballpark server. Yeah, cluster, EKS cluster, AKS cluster, yeah, GKE, yeah, OCP. If you talk about 100 application, right? If one application has 20 servers, example, okay, because they used to segregate everything, right? Front end, back end, database, then they have all the application, we have microservice running on different servers, okay. They don't want to put all the things in load on the one server itself. If it is a server, if it is a cluster, then it is fine. They have a master node and worker node. But when you have in terms of servers, minimum you can take 15 to 20. Am I correct? Now, suppose my easy trade is a one application which has a 20 server. Then 100 application, how many? 20 into 100. Example, it is a 2000 server. Now, one application has a 20 server. Just to think, one application has how many service? How many? Definitely they might have
No,
front end.
no. There will be
At
more.
least there will be 30 to 50 service.
Maybe
Because
depends on applications. We can
we
consider.
depend on, we have a 5 service also, we have a 20 service also, which has a 30 service also. Just I'm assuming a ballpark figure, which is average, you can take 20 to 30 service. Okay. Now 100 application, 30 into 100, which is around 3000 service. It would be very difficult to filter your data. So what is happening is, suppose you have a 300 service. Now you have a 3000 service. Login service, other application also has. This application also has. Something like that, right? Some uses are common, right? Authentication service, booking service, another application also has booking service. Your application also has a booking service. It would be very difficult to filter your application data. Okay, based on the tag you can filter, based on the technology you can filter, based on the name you can filter, but still you have to write lot of filter tag. You have to filter with lots of tag, then you can see your exact data. Same goes to host also, same goes to process also, same goes to your application service also. Application, I can understand that there will be one application, I can understand, but service, it would be very difficult. That is the reason why management zone comes in the picture. So now just to think, if you have enabled everything on the root level means no management zone concept, all are in combined. So now if I'll go to my host page, how many things you see? Host you see. Maybe right now we have lower environment, which is demo, which is around 5 hosts. I can understand that. But if one application has a 20 hosts, so then it would be 100 hosts. Correct? It would be 100 hosts. Same goes to service. Now you have a sample environment. If you see the service, it could be in terms of 50, 100. Might be. See, 20 service I have. Because one application has only one service, another application has a, because the microservice are different service, so they have multiple service, okay, which is fine. But now you tell me, this authentication service belongs to which application? Now you have to go inside, then you need to see the properties, overview and properties information. Then you can correlate this service belongs to this application. Correct? Yes, yeah, no. Java service ID, then you can understand, okay, this is for easy travel. Correct? Now, so it would be very difficult, right? Because to understand the service, you have to go deeper level, then you are understanding service. By seeing itself, you can't see that. Am I correct? Yes, yeah, no. If I'll do filter also, filter by service name, what you can filter? This is fine if you remember the service name. Do you think so? Everyone is remember the service name? Okay, you are from the application team, SRE team, you are dealing with the application daily basis. So you remember that. Talk about, just to think about L1 team, L1.5 team, those who are doing a first level of contact. You understand that? For them, it would be very difficult. So now how you can? So service level you can do, service name. Yeah, you can do the tag level. Suppose you added some tags, okay? Like application tags, whatever the tags you have added. Now you can filter by host name, running on which, all those things. But yeah, technology you can add. So now if you select the Java, It could be many service in here also, in real time also. Am I correct? So it would be difficult for you to by seeing itself, because when you have a P1, you don't have time to do the deeper and go and then understand the service. Suppose you have selected the wrong service, you have consumed 20 minutes and you are doing the try, and later on you can, oh, we should see this service. I could have see this service. I am seeing this service issue. So it would be very difficult. That is the reason this management zone comes in the picture. So management zone. So now this, just to think, this is your service. It is your ocean. Now you have all the data combined together. Same goes to host, same goes to process, same goes to your application, same goes to your synthetic, same goes to your SLO, whatever things, AWS integration. So what I can do is I can segregate my complete tenant itself. Segregation of tenant, you understand? Suppose Madhu belongs to EasyTrade application team. I will provide only EasyTrade application access. So there, once Madhu log into that EasyTrade Dynatrace, he will see only related to EasyTrade information. If Sagar belongs to Open Telemetry application team, I should provide only Open Telemetry management zone access to them, so that he can see only related any information related to Open Telemetry, like service, host, process, application, SLO, synthetic, database, whatever the information you have, right? All the AWS integration, Azure integration, whatever things you have, apart from dashboard, everything he will see only related to Open Telemetry. Like that, I will segregate that. So that one thing, what are the things we are controlling here? We are controlling, one is access level, right?
Yes, yes.
Because access level control, I am doing that because you are from user side.
Yeah.
You understand that user side means you are
Yes,
just application.
RBAC, you are doing role-based access control.
Dynatrace user. Okay, you are not an admin. Okay, so I will provide that access to them, because why Sagar should see Open Telemetry data? Yeah, Madhu see Open Telemetry data because his belongs to EasyTrade application. Do you think so? He should see that Open Telemetry application data? No, because he not belongs to that. So what we can do is we can segregate that complete tenant itself. Okay, so that one thing, when you segregate the tenant and you provide the access on the management zone level, first thing, you are segregating the tenant, so it will be easier for them to, because Madhu belongs to application team, so he is not Dynatrace expert this much to filter by this name, tag this, I should use all those things. Okay, but if it is filtered completely, then it would be easy for them, right? He could see only 20 service, 10 service, and he can correlate that, he can go the try all those things, he can understand that. If it is a 5,000 service in the organization, it would be very difficult for them to, hey, which service? Hey, it is very difficult to load that portal itself if you are using manage. So it would be very difficult. That is the reason we have to segregate that tenant. Okay, so how you can create a management zone? First thing, okay, so I will go to my setting tab. Either you go here, global setting, you go that setting, yeah, you go setting classic. Again, I will search here, it will go to redirect to my classic setting itself. So I will type here management zone. Management zone. You see this management zone? So where I went, came setting preferences management zone. Sorry, you should see that. Okay, setting. Then we went to preferences tab, then management zone tab. Okay. Now management zone can be created based on your environment, yeah, application. Okay. Suppose you have only one environment, which is called dev, which is called product environment. And you are monitoring only. I have implemented Dynatrace as a freelancer for multiple customers across the globe. They have only one application. They have 10 servers, 20 servers, some kind of. They will not hire like you as a full-time employee. They'll hire a freelancer and who will do the implementation. Like I did for Dynatrace, I did for Datadog, I did for New Relic. Okay, so for one application, right? So what they can do is, for one application, they can create a management zone, application name -dev, application name -prod. They don't enable dev also. They have direct prod. Okay, but in the bigger organization means talk about where you have 500, 5,000 server, 2,000 server, 3,000 servers, they definitely have a 2 instance for Dynatrace. One is for non-prod. So all the testing will happen on the non-prod. Once it is done, everything looks good, you got a sign off, then you migrate to prod. Okay. So I'm creating a management zone based on the application. So this is my easy trade. Okay. Now you can mention your description, which is optional. I'll create a new rules, add new rules. Now there is a 3-way monitor entity and dimension data. We'll talk about a monitor entity selector. Dimension data is for metric because I'm creating a management zone. This is your segregating the tenant yourself. So if you created any custom metric, okay, that metric also has to be migrated, which you can use dimensional data. But right now we have not created any custom metric, so we'll be not using dimensional data. But however, we can use monitor entity and entity selector. Okay, so I'm going with monitor entity first. Now you want to apply on which entity, which is called host. We can apply process group, custom device, VMware host, custom device, host group, data center, application, mobile apps, all those things, etc. So first I'm moving my host. I'll create a host. Now condition. So now tell me, suppose I am taking host name example. So I'm taking host name. What operator I should select? Suppose if I'll go to my host page, open a new tab. So now you see here. So now I am going for who has the hotel demo. Okay. Suppose this is my easy trade application web app 001. Okay. Now tell me my host name is easy trade web app 001. So tell me I should take which operator as a real time. You think about real time. I should take contents. It will work. Means exact value I can give. I can take equals, exact value I can take. I can take also begin with, end with. So which one is the best practice to take that value? So that you should not come again here to modify the rules. These are the scenario-based interview questions.
So we need to take the decision based on the server naming convention.
So most of the times you might have seen that how your host name is getting designed. Have you observed that? Your host name is getting defined, naming convention would be defined on with the data center location, your environment, your application name, then some unique code. Yeah, some application has a project code and a barcode. Maybe on the banking side, on this side, has a project code. Each application has a project code and barcode. Okay. Then anything else? Location, data center location. If it is on-prem, yeah, cloud. So based on these things, right, your application and what kind of service you have. Okay, suppose the application, then front end, then there will be some app, something like that. Okay, so like that, your naming convention will be defined. So now, suppose EasyTrade is one application, definitely. So you will have a start with some EasyTrade running on where? So running on cloud. So first it is a environment. You can take a location. You can take. So it is running on India. So I will take. Then I will take environment, which is called dev. Application name, which is called E. Then some barcode 3442. Then some location. Location we have. Okay, what is the data center location? Is a Bombay. So you can take that, and then 0002. Something like that, right? You might have seen that. This is the way you can host name. Organization it will be default, but that's how that host naming convention is getting defined for any organization. Okay, so you will see for all one application, first 4-5 value will be same. First 3 value would be same. Yeah, first 5 value unique value. First 5 value will be same. Yeah, last unique value will be always same. It won't be same. So only first 4-5 value would be same. Correct? Yes, yeah, no. Are you agree with me, everyone?
Yeah.
So now when you have this, so now if you take value as a contains, then exact value you have to put. Contains means contains this value. If you give equals, then you can give the equals. So if you take only begin with, and I can type here easy trade web. After that will be app, then will be a database, then the middleware, whatever things. Example, just I'm taking same way you can give the first 4 names. So now later on, suppose you have implemented 10 server right now. Okay, 10 server after 1 week, 2 weeks. Now you are moving their data to that and creating a complete segregating the application environment. You should not come back here again. You create a one more rule. Okay, you should have a such a way that it would be automatically get migrated, move to that zone. Whenever the installation is done, automatically migrate to that zone. Why? Because your rule is defined in such a way that your rules should be defined such a way that so that you should not come here again and do the modification again, add one more rule again every time. No need to do that, right? Because once you are adding in the proper way, you understand that concept. After that, no need to go manually. Sometimes here and there one something it will get left out. Okay, you can add that, but if you are adding like again one server got added, 10 server got again, let me create a rule. You cannot create a rule more than 200. So it would be, so that is the reason people used to go with the proper way. Okay, so now I have added host name, the value EasyTrade web, and so if I'll go to my host page, so I will take EasyTrade web. So it will capture either you have a 1 server, you have a 10 server, automatically it will get captured. So I will just to create a click on display entity. Why it is not coming?
Case sensitive.
No.
Yeah, EASY was not there.
Okay.
There is
Okay.
a spelling mistake.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. So now you see. So I have display entity. So whatever related, Dynatrace EasyTravel Angular front end, Dynatrace EasyTravel, okay, EasyTrade web app. So now what is coming up? I am taking host name on this, whatever thing value is running. So it is taking your host along with whatever the container is running. Okay. So that container instance is also getting migrated because container here, because your application is running on container. So you see container here, it will show the container over here. So that container information also getting moved to that zone, because when you are segregating the zone, entire thing should be segregated, right? So that he should not, okay, container should be available in the root level. I should not have I don't have permission. No, it should be completely migrated. Okay, so now you have a container. So that container group is also getting migrated. Okay, whichever running on this first. Okay, so now I'm here. Now apart from that, is there any process running on the server? Yes, I want to migrate this process also. So now whatever the process we have, because if I'll go inside my host, definitely we have some other than system process also we have enabled, so that it could see that that also should get migrated. So I can see that. Okay. So if you see this, I'll go to my process. So including your container, you have some other process also without container. So that is also getting migrated. So I can do that. Display entity, save changes. So now my host got migrated. Now I want to migrate service. So service, so again I should not create another management zone itself. I should go to that management zone and then create a rule, add new rule. So now I am going with again monitored entity. Rule applies to service, add condition, condition name, what I should take? Tell me. If I'll open this service, tell me which condition I should take to get the service for running on this server. This which is called Angular Easy Travel. We have host name is little different, but your service name related to Easy Travel. Okay, so tell me what rule I should create. So this is your service. I'm taking for last 2 hours. Okay, so we have 20 service. Now tell me to migrate for this service, this application for front end. If you see this, okay, let me show you that. If I'll go to my host, classic, open this. After that, we'll discuss about a smart script topology, I think. So this is my host. If I'll open this host, so now under this host, how many services are running? 9 service this, 16 service this, 5 service this, all those things. Okay. Now which I can take hide inactive, hide unconnected. Oh. So now which is our okay. So now this many service we have. So tell me how you can create a rule so that it will filter all the service. Anyone has idea? Okay. So basically, if I'll go with service name example, because last time we went host name, so people used to do the same mistake. Service name, yeah, detected service name. How many you will take? Because if you take a begin with, each service name has a different naming coming. One is have a login service, one you have booking service, one is authentication service, one is journey service, one is payment gateway service. So it would be very difficult, right? If you go with the begin with, service name begin with. Yeah, service name end with. It would be very difficult if you go with the service name itself. So what I can rule applies to service, and I can take host. Host IP address. Yeah, sometimes why you have created a host group? Because tell me why you have created a host group? Because one application running on different servers. So host group, what is the definition of host group? Remember last time we discussed? Madhu? If it is a
Similar servers will keep under one.
similar server, similar application server, right?
A similar application, sorry, yeah.
So now, so all the applications, suppose you have a login, journey, booking, authentication, payment gateway, it is segregated on 5 servers. You have created a group, you combine the group. So now I can take a host group, right? Instead of host IP address. Host group, right? Tell me, yes or no?
Yes, it will
Host group and equals, I can take that, which is called easy trade, and display the entity. All the service will be get added. Because right now, anyway, I have created a host group. So all the hosts, suppose you have a 5 service, 150 service, and yeah, 100 service, which is distributed among this different servers, app servers, you have created a host group. So now to filter the data, what I can do, I can, instead of going each service name, yeah, going with the host IP address. If I'll go with the host IP address, maybe if it's running on 5 server, I need to create a 5 rules because I cannot add multiple IP address in the one shot. So I need to have a 5 rules. In spite of that, if I've created a host group, I can filter the data. So now you understand that what is the benefit of host group right now? You understand that? So this is the benefit we have. Okay. Now you can underline this. Already we have done that. If you don't do that is also fine. Sometimes one rule suffice and you add the underlying host, all those things in the one rule. And so you see all the services getting added. Now save changes. So what happened is all the service got migrated. Now what I should migrate? what we have configured? Application, which is called front end, right? So now tell me what is entity selector. So front end, suppose I can go with a monitor entity also for front end example. Just I'm showcasing that, which is called a web application. I can create a rule which is called web application name. I can take equals because application name you have for one application name. So I can take a contents also. I can take a equals also. Equal. What is the application? Angular. Okay, I can take. I don't remember the application name, but I can go to my front end. So my application Angular space easy travel. So I can copy this. Okay, so I can go this way. One way is equals, and I can give this information. If you give case sensitive also, it will work, and you can filter the data. So I'm getting that. This is the one way. Another way, when you have a single entity, yeah, few entity like 3-4 entities, right? And you want to move that, you can go with entity selector also. So now for application, I am going with entity selector. So how you can do that? So I have opened my front end. Each entity, because this entity ID you need when you do the CMDB mapping in the proper way with the Dynatrace with the service now. Okay. So sometimes uniqueness, finding application uniqueness, all those things you used to add in that same table for that application. I should think, okay, this add this application ID also, okay, which is called entity ID. So each entity has a unique ID. Each entity, because if I'm going to each host page, service page, application page, synthetic page, SLO, anything has their unique entity ID, unique ID. So this is your entity ID. Remember, sometimes in the interview they used to ask. This is your entity ID. So there is a way, multiple way to write a entity selector. So I can give here entity ID bracket and double quote and add inside the value, which is called your application ID. Okay, now run this. Angular easy travel is coming. So I can give comma separated also. You have suppose 1, 2, 3. Okay, suppose I am giving for another application example. Check whether it will accept or not. I am giving for pet clinic example, just for testing. Okay, I'm not moving that data. So I can give this comma space double quote again, give this value. Coming. So sometimes you have more than 1, 2, 3 entity, right? And you don't, because somebody has done that management zone configuration, and you don't remember, okay, this 2 service is not coming under this management zone. You will get this kind of request when you work in the L3 team, right? L3 team, like a Dynatrace Dynatrace observability team. If you work in that team, you will get this kind of request on the weekly basis. Hey, this entity is not coming to my zone. When I'm going to root zone, sometimes user has a complete root level access. Yeah, sometimes L1 team will raise this request. Hey, this entity is not getting visible in when I filter this management zone, this service. So can you move that? So now you don't understand, okay, these are the rules. Then you can go with the entity ID. You understand that? So now I can remove this, remove the comma and move this. So I move this save changes. Now you understood that entity ID and service monitor entity, everyone. So now we have moved host, we have moved application, we have moved their service. Let's see what other things got moved. So I will go to my host page Access level we'll discuss about little later. Okay, how you can control that access, all those things. I'll show you that. I'll give one random access. I'll create a random user with a temp email ID, and I'll see that what you can see the data. Okay. So now you see here filter by. You see this. So now when we'll filter by EG trade, how many data I see? I could see only one host, which is related to EG trade. Are you getting my point? Now if I'll go to my service page, so this service, you will be having service classic also. So this segmentation, it you won't see in that recent service, that new UI service. You have to go with the old UI service, okay, which is called service classic. There is no difference, which has a filter by management zone option. They have not migrated completely still, okay. So now if you see this, when I filter my management zone, which is called EG trade, how many service I'm seeing? Only 8 service. If I'll go with my root, how many service I could see? 20. So now I am belongs to EG trade. This 8 service is better and 1 host is better. Yeah, 20 service and 5 host is better. Manoj, which one is better? Filter. This is better, right? Because I am belongs to EG trade. So why should I see for other application service data? Why could I see that other application host information? Same goes to process, same goes to application, same goes to synthetic. So now if I'll go with my web application, which is called front end, either you go search web, yeah, search front end, it will open the same page, okay? If you go to your front end and open this application, so now if I'll filter with this EG trade, I can see only related to my EG trade, which is I have a migrated Angular EG travel. So it would be better, right? Now I'm giving access to someone for this management zone. It would be easier for them to only he could see only related to that application information, only to that. Whatever things was configured. So whatever things you have configured, you keep on migrating there. Suppose you have onboarded one application, suppose which has a 20 host, one application, one front end, you have one custom application, you have configured 10 synthetic, you have configured some SLO, a lot of things, right? You configure that. So it would be after that you have to migrate their informations to that management zone so that it will be easier. That is the reason you might have seen in your organization, okay, whoever is working on Dynatrace right now, you'll have a many zones here. Am I correct? Vasu, I think you are working, right? Vasu is working. Natarajan was also working. I think he has not joined. Right? So it would be easier for you. Okay. So that's how it works, how you can create. So same way you have to create a management zone for other applications, which is called open telemetry, other Spring Pet Clinic. You have to create a management zone and you have to migrate the data so that I can provide that application access to that a specific user who belongs to that respective application. Understood? Any question to understand management zone? Dimension data, which has a dimension data, that will migrate when you are doing that. Where it went here? Setting, management zone. When you create a custom application, we'll talk about in a cello, when we'll create a custom application, some custom application, and then we migrate custom metrics, and then we can migrate because I got only this zone access. You understand that? EG trade zone access. So now, if your data metric is in custom metric, I'm talking about, not your default Dynatrace metric. Okay, custom metric, which is available in the root level, you cannot see that because you have not migrated that data. So dimension data, it is for metric. You understand that? Now select the condition, give the metric key name, all those things. Metric has a key. Okay, if you go to your metric page, Default metric everyone can see, okay? Which is your custom metric got created, that you have to migrate.
So in the interview, they have been asking about custom metrics, Ravi. Have you worked on
Everything.
custom?
So see metric key name, okay? So these are the key name you have to give for custom metric. Custom metric will start with CALC, okay? Calculated custom metric something, okay? So that key name you have to give here, and then you have to migrate that information, okay? Operation key name this, and value should be this, then you migrate that metrics, okay? So like this you have to give this. Then metric key name, what is the value? So custom metric has a key and value, so you can give that and then you can migrate that, okay? So like this you have to migrate your uh, key stand for this, and then you have to give their value. So you can do that way and you can migrate the data. We'll talk about, okay? Metric key and begin with, yeah, metric key equals, and you can give this information and then display entity. It will not show, maybe it will not show because this is a default matrix, but you can migrate that information, okay? So that's how it work for metric underscore key, okay? For you need to migrate in the proper way. Sometimes you will get in the real level when you're working in the IT and it was completely secure environment for all the applications. It would be, hey, for this metric I don't see in the root level, somebody is able to see, somebody is not able to see. Basically performance testing team will raise a lot of questions, because they are after observability team, right? On the application side, mainly performance testing team, they used to do a lot of things because they need to do the testing of your application, okay? So now, so hope management zone understood for everyone. Same way you have to create for open telemetry demo application, demo app I have to create, okay? And you can create a management zone with the help of APIs. So you see, there's a post API, post Dynatrace, just to search Dynatrace post API for management zone. Just to type it, there will be a, now it is coming here, okay? Management zone using automation using this, where it is post API. And Dynatrace post API for the spelling. We'll talk about this post API, okay? So there is a API available where which you can do that with the help of, so you need to find in the documentation. I'll find this all the API documentation, I'll show you that. But you can create that the API is available, all the APIs is available here. You go to this, right? Environment, where support, and all the APIs is available here. You see this? You can create that. So you can create it. So these are the BAU activity, right? So what organization they are doing, dealing with that. There is a tool, because you guys are more senior, so you should know in and out, okay? Because somebody has the interview tomorrow, somebody has the interview on Monday, next week, whatever. So there is a API. With the help of API, you can do that. So Dynatrace has a API which is called V2 API or V1 API, wherever you can find. Yeah, it could be your configuration API. There's a 3 API link they have, okay? You can create. Yeah, you can create, because when you are giving for Dynatrace interview, right? They'll ask you, hey, how you are managing your Dynatrace configuration? You cannot say, right? If you are going for lead level, yeah, you are going for some architect level, yeah, some senior level. Nobody go for a mid level, right? 4 or 5 years of experience. Everyone is more than 10 that over here. So now when you are going that, definitely ask you, so how you are managing Dynatrace configuration? You will say manually. Yes, you know. You will say manually I am doing that.
through API.
No, either you through API one time you can do, but the problem here in the API to keep the collection, because in the Postman you have some kind of collection configuration, right? You can have a collection, all those in the proper way. You can do that, but with the better, people used to do all the configuration used to do via Terraform. Now you remember, anyone knows little bit heard about this Terraform?
Yes, yes. Terraform, Ansible, Chef, Puppet.
So Terraform is a automation tool, okay, in IAC, infrastructure as a
Yeah.
code we used to called,
Yes, yes.
okay. Yeah, because Dynatrace is morely tightly coupled, because they have a provider for Dynatrace in the Terraform page. Yeah, you can go with Monaco. Okay, so whenever you are going for an interview, even somebody asking, because if you are going little senior level interview, definitely people will take an interview on the lead architect, solution architect, those members, okay? Those kind of peoples, not like 5-6 years of people, right? More than 15-20 years of people will take your interview, and they'll ask you the scenario based. Suppose you have a 200 application, 100 application. Now you wanted to onboard Dynatrace for 200 applications. All the 200 you will do manually. Then how many resources you need? More than that. So what we used to do that, because Terraform, you can write a complete modules. Dynatrace has given the modules, sample modules, okay? Just you have to modify according to your environment. And then what you have to do? Keep on Terraform this module. Okay, I want to create a management zone. Okay, for this application, just you do the application name change. In the rules, do you need any changes required? Okay, host, I start with whatever the changes are required, you do the JSON, and then you create that rule. So all the module is created for that application. Now, any changes required, any rules required, just you go and add one more rule. So that only what you have to, you modify your JSON. No need to log in Dynatrace portal at all, because if you know Dynatrace very well, and then Terraform init, you know that, right? Init, you do plan, you validate, and Terraform apply. That's it, right? 4 commands you die, it will get created. So managing this using Terraform, it would be easier for any organization which is running. Suppose you talk about any bigger level, like Autodesk, JP Morgan, State Street. These are the bigger organizations, they are using Dynatrace. You talk about Axis Bank, you talk about HDFC Life in India, you talk about SBI Bank, Belapur, Mumbai. These are the bigger in bank you have. Okay, then if you talk about in US, there is a many organizations, right? They are like American Airlines, United Airlines, many organizations they do have that using Dynatrace. Okay, Canada Airlines, they are using that. So now, do you think so they will creating manually? No, everyone is using their Terraform या Monaco. Some organization they are using Terraform. Most of the organization they are going with Terraform, and 70% Terraform, 30% Monaco. Okay, so if you see Dynatrace Terraform provider, just I am giving the information right now. I am not doing any configuration. We'll talk about later. So this is your Terraform. So you have the provider, and you see all the modules they have. You see this? You want to create a HTTP. So all the basic things, right? It does not require login, configure management zone. See? So you want to create SLO, there's the documentation page. So now this JSON, just example they have given you, only you need to understand, and only first time you have to, whatever the rule we have created, right? You remember that? Entity type, host propagation at a condition, entity ID, key name, equals. So whatever this thing was given, it was first time you have to understand the proper way. Later on, just do copy, clone it, modify it. Again, you move this Terraform code to Bitbucket. So it will be easier for you, right? This is become a template now. Okay, you understand that for all the applications. So what when any change is required, you clone this template, use this module, clone this module, yeah, template, whatever you used to call, and then you do the changes. You use the Terraform init, Terraform client, Terraform validate, Terraform apply. That's it. And second thing is Monaco. Just to type Dynatrace
So Ravi, where are we installing the Terraform on the host that where the one agent like
No.
is it?
Terraform, it is a very small software, lightweight software you can install in your laptop, okay, in your organization laptop, okay, and then use from there, okay. You
So
understand that?
even in the real time whenever we are working, so we
Hmm.
can just install it on our work
Yeah.
laptop and from there we
Because your
can.
Terraform all the Terraform module code will be pushing to always your Bitbucket. You know that, right? Git commands, everyone, right? Git add,
Mhm.
git commit, git pull, git fetch, all those things, right? Git clone, everything, right? So there will be definitely, if you have a two environment of dev and prod for Dynatrace, you'll have a uh, branch which called dev, and you are cloning from this. Then you'll have a release branch, you have a feature branch, okay, and then you push to the dev, then from there it will get cloned, then it will go to release branch, everything, then it will go to the prod, okay. So that's the basically git add, git commit. So basically your code, the Terraform module, okay, whatever the Terraform code you have written, the complete applications, it will be available on your Bitbucket. You clone that, you run this, push this, and then again you commit this. That's it. Right. So that way you test it in dev, then it will get created a change request, all those things, and it will push to that. There will be a release pipeline, whatever things, right? People used to do that nowadays, okay? Because if you see, right, all the bigger organization which has a, that BT UK, they have 80,000 servers in Dynatrace. If you talk about this in Canada, we have a Bell Canada, more than 1 lakh server. So these are the bigger organization. Do you think so? 1 lakh server managing manual and this API collection, it would be very, how many applications they do have? It would be very difficult for them. So that is the reason they used to via Gate. Yeah, they used to go via Monaco. Okay. Because in the
And
interview,
Monaco, yeah, sorry,
Monaco
go
is
ahead.
a code via configuration as a code. So it has to be, Monaco has to be installed on some of the servers. Okay. Monaco has a one CLI. Okay, and you install on that. So basically what you used to have some kind of jump server where which has a service account, everyone used to log in from that server, and then they used to do the configuration. Even you can install in your system also, which is fine, but mainly in the organization level they used to go via if it is going via Monaco, they have one server where it will have Monaco is running. Sorry.
Ravi, quick
So
question.
Yeah, go
Is it
ahead.
either Monaco or Terraform? Is it or both has different
Either one,
capabilities?
anyone, either you
Either
can
one.
choose
Yeah,
Monaco,
okay.
yeah, Terraform, depend on that.
Because Terraform it's represented as IAC. Here
Hmm.
it is CAC, right? I mean, configure CAC, yeah.
Monaco is
So,
tightly
but both
coupled.
are same, right?
Both are same, okay? But Monaco is little tightly coupled. You see in Terraform, how many modules you have? For resource, you have access token, alerting, which is called AlertProfile, all those things. Then you have anomaly detection for alerting and all. You have app engine.
Tightly coupled, you mean to say that less features
No.
make
Tightly coupled means in the help of Monaco, more than Terraform, you can do that. Everything you
so
cannot
I
do
think,
from the Terraform. Okay.
and also like in that Monaco, right? I think that is support. We get Dynatrace support
It is
for
a
Monaco.
Monaco. You will get a Dynatrace support. For
Dynatrace
Terraform, you will
support, and they do the configuration also from
uh,
the support
So,
team.
officially supported by Dynatrace, right?
yeah.
Then that are
Both
more
are
weighted.
officially supported. That is the reason, right? This got this in the Terraform page. Why this provider was released? It is a partner. Okay, they have done the partnership with the Terraform. Okay, but Monaco was developed by Dynatrace. You understand that? That is the reason you are seeing the Dynatrace documentation, and you see Monaco. It is a CLI. Anyone heard about this kept in CLI in the Kubernetes?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
From
See, these are the
Dynatrace, right? This Andres
Dynatrace.
Gardner,
Uh,
this kept in for quality gates. It's
all
very,
those
very
things.
much useful in performance also.
So
Quality
Captain,
gate
right?
system.
Captain is a CLI was developed by Dynatrace. Okay, so these are the things, small things, right? Sometimes in the interview they used to ask. They'll not ask much in deeper. Okay, because out of 100% organization, you talk about 1 or 2% that are using it, 5% they are using it. Not everyone, but if you know Captain little bit, yeah, we are. I heard about this. This is for that. All those things. At least they can say, okay, you have a Dynatrace understanding. Okay. So at least you should have all end to end. So this you can go via Monaco also. So this is the way you can do that. So this is for installation video for Monaco.
Monaco and Ansible are almost the same, but we get Monaco support from Dynatrace. Ansible, we don't get support from Dynatrace, correct?
Ansible, no, both Dynatrace, Terraform, and this both you will get supported. But Monaco, it is completely written by Dynatrace itself. Okay.
Okay.
Now, whatever the provider you have for JSON, it was released by Dynatrace and it has to be approved by Terraform. Now, sometimes you'll have mismatch. Now, Terraform got released to later version and Dynatrace have not released, but Monaco is tightly something like that. Okay. So now, so management zone, I hope everyone is understood. Any
Ravi,
question? Yeah, go ahead, Varsho.
is in Monaco any additional license is required?
No, it is a completely open source.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, like sometimes while installing that one agent on the same server, like for some issue, we are not getting monitored that server, so we are reinstalling that one agent. So it is coming under another name, like
I didn't get you. What you are trying to say?
like for a host, if it is monitored by
Hmm.
one agent,
Hmm.
for some reason it was not working properly. At the time we are reinstalling that one agent.
Hmm.
So at the time that entity, the new entity was created for that host. It is not merged with the old entity. So well, it added it in the management zone automatically, or need to change some configuration here in management
Okay.
zone.
Okay, if it is creating a new entity in spite of old entity, different entity, it has the same name, then it will create that same rule. Same rule it will accept. But if it is something, if you have created with the entity ID example, then if you have created a new entity, it created a new entity in the host page, then your entity ID will get changed. Okay, ensure that if you have created a rule for monitor entity and which has the same name, then definitely it will move to that zone. If you have created some rules with the help of entity ID, then definitely, because entity ID for unique, all the unique, any host, unique application, unique host, unique service, it will create a unique ID. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Now, so hope management zone, everyone is clear about that. Now, later on, whatever the things will configure, right? Synthetic will configure, yeah, anything will migrate that. Okay. So now anyone has a dot on the management node? Shall we move to next topic?
I have one question, Ravi. Can we club up multiple management zones to one another management zone?
No,
Okay.
because you are segregating the tenant. Okay. Now you are saying that, okay, suppose I have created a 5 management zone. Now I'm creating a 6 management, which I can migrate all the 6 management zone itself in the one zone. No, because again, you have to create all the 5 zone you have created, whatever the rule you have created, again, the 6 zone, all the rule you create. You can do that. Suppose you have created a 5 zone. You understand that what I'm trying to say? You have created a 5 zone, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, 5 zone you have created. All the entity was migrated. Okay, now you have created a F zone. Now, whatever the entity you have for this zone, you can migrate to here. Like for A zone, whatever the entity you have, host, process, again, you have to create a rule and you have to migrate that. You cannot migrate F and then management zone name equal to A, B, C, D, and all the data will get migrated. No, it is not possible.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now, so let's move to another topic, which is called AlertProfile. I'm going in the sequence way. that how your organization has to be implemented. Okay, it has to be implemented. Suppose you are onboarding your application. Yeah, you are onboarding Dynatrace in the first time. Okay, as a POC or whatever things, you have to go in this way itself. Okay, so what is alert profile? Anyone has idea? Vashu?
Yeah.
Hey, you are working on Dynatrace, man. Tell me.
So alerting profile will create it, right? Like availability, around six conditions we have it. So we'll create like infrastructure is one rule, and also your web related availability we created it, and monitoring unavailable or not we create one it, and
Yeah.
shutdowns. Yeah.
So alert profile, right? So why alert profile is needed? Okay, first you need, so in Dynatrace, right, alert profile is a configuration. You understand, right? One of the configurations we are doing in the Dynatrace. Okay, determine which problem should trigger alert and who should be notified. Means what are the problems should get triggered and which team should get notified based on the severity level. Okay. So you know, remember alert profile, that is the region we used to call, which has a severity. Okay. Now, what are the severity you have? One is resource. Second one is monitoring unavailable. Monitoring unavailable. Everything is available in the PPT, okay? That bigger PPT you have around 393 page document, right? Everything is available. Just you have to, because it is the loading of that page itself is taking a long time, okay? Monitoring unavailable. Third one is availability. Fourth one is error. Fifth one is custom. What is the sixth one? Vashu, slow down. Correct?
Yeah.
So now this has a severity, which it has. So now tell me, if you have created alert profile with severity resource, then what are the alert should trigger for this severity, resource severity? Tell me.
By P1, it should be high P1 first.
Resource means infrastructure.
CP memories.
See,
P1.
P1, P2, we don't have concept in Dynatrace itself, okay, which is called problem. Okay.
Okay.
In Dynatrace, we remember don't have concept for P1, P2, P3 means warning and critical threshold. We don't have that, and priority. Everything called as a one problem. Okay, what are the threshold you want to keep? You can have only one threshold. Okay, suppose you want to keep CPU for 90%, you can keep that, but you cannot keep a CPU. Okay, when it is go 85, it should create a warning, and when it is go 90, it should create a critical. And based on that, you define the priority. Warning should be P2, yeah, P3, yeah, P4, based on that application criticality, like a business. You have that, right? BC1,
Yes, yes.
BC2, BC3 application, right? Business criticality. Okay, based on that, you put a warning, but when it is crossing that, you create a P1 based on the business criticality of your application. Okay, but however, in Dynatrace doesn't have this option. You can do in the service now, which is fine. You can create a rules, all those things. So if you talk about resource,
Ravi,
okay,
what about other observability like Datadog and all?
Datadog has a warning. They have a critical. Then you have a priority P1, P2, P3, P4. You have that. Okay, you can do that. But Dynatrace doesn't have. Dynatrace, you have something called problem. Okay. Sometimes in the interview they used to ask. Suppose I am a observability guy and I need to migrate Datadog to Dynatrace. Okay. Now I don't know Dynatrace. Now they'll ask you, hey, how you can create a alert for P1, P2, P3. If you say that, okay, we have 85%. No, we don't have concept. If that guy is knowing that, then they'll, okay, you don't know Dynatrace. They'll think that way. Okay, directly. If you are going, because you are not a fresher, out of 20 questions, you have only answer 15 questions, I am done. And you will get out of how many people answer is a good way, what is their communication, all those things, I am done. No.
And also, most of the tools we have like minimum, warning, and critical two types of thresholds in the old tools, we can say.
But
But
in
that
the
concept is here completely different.
concept is alerting concept itself, you compare with any tools like Datadog, Neural Lake, Appdynamics, Splunk, Observability Cloud. For any tools, it is a completely different. Okay, so you have a resource severity which will capture your infrastructure alert. Okay, which stand for CPU, memory, disk, process. These are things, right? Network, whatever things. Okay, related to resource. Monitoring unavailable means that sometimes cluster become unavailable. Network is down, something become unavailable, that you will get rarely in the organization. Means out of 1 year you can get one time, two time. In that manage you will get, if you are using Dynatrace manage, sometimes cluster went down, monitoring is not available, you will get that alert, which is fine, which is rarely you will get. Okay. Now tell me availability alert. Anyone know synthetic? Heard about this? What is synthetic monitoring?
Yeah, synthetic monitoring for web browsers.
Web browser, right? You have a
Session.
three.
User session.
Three types of monitor. One is HTTP, one is browser, one is network availability, which you can check your DNS server availability from certain IP. Yes, you can check that. You can do that, those kind of things, ping, whatever things, right? IPP, you can do
PMP.
that ping of the server, and you can do that. We have three types of synthetic monitoring, which is your HTTP, which is your single URL, then multi URL, which is called multi APM monitoring, which is called browser based, or browser click path, and then you have network availability, which you can check that DNS server from different IP. Yeah, you can check that, you can do the ping of the server, whether it's getting ping or not, right? Those kind of things you can do that. Now, availability alert mostly you will get for synthetic. Why? Because now suppose your application went down. Example. Suppose this is my application went down. Example. This is my pet clinic application went down. Certain location. Certain location means this application. Anyone heard about this application running globally? Okay. Now and I'm hitting this application from 5 locations, which is called US, UK, Canada, India, Europe. Okay, five location. I am hitting that application and getting the response whether HTTP 200 is status okay or not. Now tell me from the UK, this application is not reachable. Means what they will think? There is a location, nothing but one server, one laptop.
Application down at that server.
Application, which is means availability. Your application availability went down. What you are checking? Availability. What is your application availability? 100%, right? That's what you are saying, right? Imagine you are buying a service. What is the Amazon service availability? 100%. Means that service is available 100%. Means the application also work as a service, okay? And that is that application, entire application work, and it is what is their availability. So whatever that application you have some kind of availability alert, mostly you will get for synthetic. Mostly you will get auto. Other than that, you will get something network become unavailable, available, something like that, availability alert for network outage, all those things. But mostly you will get for synthetic. Means out of 100, 80 will be synthetic. One is HTTP local outage and one is HTTP global outage. If anyone is working on Dynatrace, just you go to your problem page and you see that most of the alert you will get for synthetic. Okay. If so, we don't have much problem, but there is a playground environment which I can show you that. So if you click here, there is a playground environment. Playground environment. See how Dynatrace. If you are completely new in Dynatrace, they are giving just to create a SaaS trial for any email ID, and they will give you one real-time environment as a read level permission. Okay, read level permission is you don't have much permission, but you can go to your problem page. and see how many problems. If I'll go to my availability, I don't see for last 2 hours. Let me put for last 7 days. What you are getting? You see this? Browser monitor global outage. Browser monitor will come from which kind of monitor? It's a synthetic, right? HTTP monitor means from that location your website is not accessible. Okay, browser monitor may be out of 15 events, because you have a home page, then login, then you go to that, search some item, add item to cart, all those things. You are doing that, right? In that, some of the page event is not working, which is called event. So that will be if it is a browser global outage, means from entire location. Suppose you have configured from 5 locations, all the 5 locations your synthetic is not accessible. Okay, so you see mostly what kind of alert you see. Apart from that, something availability. See, low traffic, unexpected low traffic. Some of the applications went down. Maybe it could be network audit. Yeah, something like that. That is the reason you are getting the low traffic. Okay, so mostly you will get availability for synthetic. Understood? Now talk about errors. Any errors. JavaScript error, request error, custom error, yeah, any errors will capture in the error tab. Understood? Now, these are the things we discuss, right? So it is getting captured. Now tell me, slow down. Custom will talk about after that. Slow down means, what does it mean of slow down? You are facing slowness, right? So you have a response time degradation, like a user is facing a problem, yeah, some of the service become a slow, something like that. That will capture in the slowness, slow down. And custom means whichever the alert you configure as a custom alert, because Dynatrace has a default anomaly detection. Okay, I will talk about after this session. After this topic, we'll talk about anomaly detection maybe tomorrow, because we have 9:15. So custom alert means Dynatrace has a default alert. Default alert means for all the KPIs you have, all the entity either you are gonna implement, yeah, already you have implemented, you have a default KPI. Suppose you talk about infrastructure, CPU, memory, disk, Java, heap memory, request error, network error, all those things. By default, it is no need to configure that. If it's application response time, failure rate, degradation, whatever things, right? A spike, traffic drop. If it's a database, this, okay. Slowdown, response time degradation, all those things are the basic KPI is already enabled, which is called anomaly detection. Apart from that, there is a mini KPI you have to configure for alerting, which is called custom alert. Doesn't mean that you have to create a custom metric for that. Any alert you are creating for anything which is not available in the default anomaly detection, you have to configure as a custom alert. Okay, so for that, whatever the alert severity you have selected, for that you have to select a severity custom. If you suppose you are creating an alert based on fetching the logs, okay, and then you are writing a matcher for that example, because log you are based on your condition. Okay, you write some condition like a host name this, process name this, entity content is this, and then you are getting that whatever the information you are getting. Based on that, you are writing a matcher for that, and then you are creating alert. You have created a matrix, and then you are creating alert for that. That is called custom alert. So what you have to configure as a custom alert. Okay,
Ravi, custom means we can do for any one of the observabilities, right? Application or infra or
anything you
okay.
can do. You can do
Thank
on
you,
the
sir.
resource level. Suppose I have configured for CPU memory disk for only host, but process I have not configured. Process is not available. Process, suppose some of the application process consuming, it is crossing more than 50% of CPU. I need alert. I can configure as anything. You can configure as a custom alert. Okay. So
Okay,
just you
thanks.
have to configure under the custom event. That's it. If anything you have configured, even the default alert what you have, and you don't want to do that, you can disable, and you can want to go all the things as a custom, that also you can do that. Okay, so custom alert you can do that. Okay, so that is called your custom alert. Just I'm giving the niche example, which is called log level, because 100% because most of the KPI is already available, basic KPIs. It does not require to configure. Only people used to configure on the log level, fetch the information, and then writing a matcher and doing that. Apart from that, some of the custom KPI you can write. You can do that on the application level, request level. You write that. You can do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you.
Okay, like a 4x error, 5x error. These are the custom alert, right? Now for this service, if 4x error is going beyond this many, I need alert. If it is a 5x for this application, going beyond this, I need alert. Okay, those kind of things you need alert. You can do that. Okay.
Ravi, can you show that on the screen, the custom alert section?
I can show you that. I can show you right now, but I'm not gonna create.
No, don't create, but just wanted to view.
Okay, so if you see, right, anomaly detection, when we talk about that time we'll create a, which is called metric event. You see, suppose I want to create. Okay, so this I will create. So this is just I'm giving for simple one, process CPU usage. Okay, metric key I will take, metric selector, which is called entity ID. I'll just type process CPU usage. I'll type this. So now you take, and this is your generic. So I can take this. Now see what are the entity, it is visible, all the entities. So now I need entity filters. I can do this. Entity equals to any process, you can take that. So background task host. Okay, this is consuming. So this is one filter got. I need a static threshold. So I need when it is crossing 40%, I need alert, and use suggested threshold. So you can static threshold. Okay, I need percentage, and now give 20%. And now you see here the event type. You see this, which is called custom alert. You understand that? This is the way you can, even anything you can configure as a custom alert, but so, because you have already already anomaly for default threshold, default KPI, like response time metric degradation. You have increase in JavaScript error. You have traffic spike, traffic drop. Same way goes to your, if you go to your host, you have something called CPU, host monitoring unavailable, disk, memory, high system load on the Java out of memory, GC. So these are it will capture all the hosts. We'll talk about anomaly detection later in the depth, but all the things. So whichever things is not available, you configure as a custom alert. Okay. So those things will capture as a custom alert. Okay. Whichever thing you configure as a custom alert. Once your alert profile. So remember, now I have segregated the application. So Srini belongs to AG Trade and Navina belongs to different open telemetry. Then what will happen? Do you think so Srini should receive a alert for open telemetry? No. He should see only related to EG Trade alert. Am I correct? So what I can do is when I'll create a alert profile, you see here, which is where is the alerting, I'll create alert profile. I will filter with management zone. So whatever your management zone name, same name you give here. So I will give EG Trade and EG Trade, and I will select the management zone. If you don't select the management zone, what happened is, if you don't select this, what happened is all the application alert, it will go to this. Now, so you will have one is global. Suppose you are sending all the alert to ServiceNow. So you will have a global integration without management zone. So all the application alert will go to ServiceNow. And then from there, you have created a lot of rules so that it will filter to different assignment group. First thing. Second thing, if you have done integration with Slack, Teams, email, do you think so? If you get a alert for entire application in your email, Slack, tell me how many alerts you will receive on the per day basis. Tell me. More than 1,000. Lots of your email, your Outlook will be in the hung state. It will get hang like anything because you are receiving, keep on alerting. That is the reason we used to, because we have segregated. So there will be a integration when you are doing that. So when you are doing an integration for Microsoft Teams, Slack channel, email, you should have a based on the management zone. Okay. Remember this kind of things. You need to remember that, okay? Because whoever will go for a solution designing, yeah, if you are designing your Dynatrace in the proper way, you should know this kind of concept that it would be easier for everyone. Otherwise, in the interview, sometimes also ask, okay? So now using a team integration. So you have a team apps, right? Each team can integrate. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
Because
we can create Teams
uh,
email ID and one can integrate.
no, Teams, you need to create a channel.
Yeah, Teams channel will create for that email ID will
So
be there.
different application team, you can do that, and you can add the channel to that different members, whoever belongs to that application team.
Correct.
If I'll add complete Dynatrace alert, if I'll dump Dynatrace alert dump into your team channel, which is not relevant to your application, you will think, why I'm getting this many alerts? Only respective of your application, only receive alert. So you need to remember, whenever you are doing an integration for your small thing, which is called your email, yeah, which is called your team, Slack, whatever the channel you have to go filter by management zone. Create a EG travel based on the management, EG alert profile based on your management zone.
Also, since you're talking about Ravi about this integration, so alerting, right? We usually don't. I mean, we rarely use in the staging environment this email alert to the application
No,
team
I'm not
members.
talking about email. So a staging environment, okay, which is fine. Okay, you don't. But in the prod environment, main environment, always you might have see, because I am application SRE. Example, do you think so? I will log into the ServiceNow portal and accept that request and all those things? No, yeah. Later on I'll go RCA and I will do that, close that ticket, which is fine. But I'll have a own dedicated integration which is called team channel, yeah, which is if you are organization using Slack, then we'll be using Slack, all the team member in that group, so that it will be easier for to see the alert and then do the try and resolve the resolve the alert. Okay. After that, I will go to ServiceNow. I have to close the ticket because global integration was done in the ServiceNow. So all the alert will get floated in Dynatrace. So I will go to my assignment group and filter that alert, and then I will write the RC or whatever the things I required, and then I'll close the alert, which is fine. But I will have one more integration. This is your specific to your application. So that you have to select always. One is filter by management zone, and second, if you are doing a global for all the management zone, then select which is your whatever things you want to mention global. Okay, you mention global and don't select management zone, because when you select management zone, entity will get filtered. So, and then you send you save the changes. That's it. Now you see here, which has a after 0 minutes. What does it mean? Availability alert after 0 minutes. What does it mean?
Immediately.
Means you Dynatrace detect a problem right now. In the same time, I need alert. Then it is you don't have a delay. I don't want to delay. And this have a entity in that entity also. Suppose you filter by management zone, in that also you want to filter that entity that has a tag. With the help of tag also you can filter. Okay, sometimes entity I want to filter because a stage in the suppose you need alert for a staging environment, so you can filter by the entity, all those things you can do that, so that it will get filtered with the one alert profile itself. Third thing, suppose you have a resource, delay is needed or not?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes it gets refreshed up and it comes back up again.
Any
Maybe
performance testing they do.
Whenever somebody doing the application testing, you talk about performance testing team, they have requested a JMeter request, 5,000 request, okay, a ramp up period of 60 seconds. And so suddenly CPU goes to 95% because he has requested 5,000, yeah, 10,000. So now CPU goes high and you have a ramp up period of 60 seconds. So within a 60 second, it came to normal. So what happened if you don't have delay in 0 minutes, in that time, in the 60 second of interval when goes high, Dynatrace detect a problem and you will receive a problem also. So I am saying at least you should have a delay for 10 to 15 minutes based on that. Okay, minimum, because performance testing they cannot put a load on your application for 10,000 requests on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. No, minimum 60 second to 180 second of ramp up period, not more than that. And then you have options to filter by entity. So you can filter that entity with the help of tags, all those things that you can do, and then you can save changes. Okay. So that is the concept of alert profile. So alert profile works. So you need to, whenever you are sending any alert to different platform, like your email, your third party, which is your email, ServiceNow, Slack, Microsoft Team, PagerDuty, Xmatters, right? Or yeah, VictorOps, any tools you are sending, you need to have an alert profile. Without alert profile, you can't send alert. So there should be two alert profile. One is based on your management zone, and second one is global. So global we will be using for any ITSM tool integration, it would be either your ServiceNow, yeah, PagerDuty, yeah, VictorOps, yeah, Xmatters, whatever the tools we are using, yeah, organization they are using, yeah. One is local, based on your management zone, so that whichever the integration, other than that you have done any integration, like you need to have a Slack integration, yeah, Slack, because where you can create a channel. So channel, so you don't need all the alert in the one Slack, one tools. Okay. Second, also you can do that. Okay, but however you will receive a lot of problem, because Slack channel used to create based on the application by application, and then we used to invite the people who belongs to that application. You understand that? So you can, whenever you are doing for Teams, yeah, email, yeah, Slack, we used to go with segregated by management zone. Okay, segregated by alert profile in the management zone. So hope, is it clear for everyone? Any question to understand alert profile, to understand the
I have,
severity?
hi Ravi, I have two of them.
Hmm.
One question for alert profile is how many alert profile we can configure? Is there any
No,
limitation?
no, there is no limitation. Okay, suppose you have 100 management zone, you can create 100 alert profile.
Okay, so each management zone can have only one alert profile.
Yeah. Suppose I can have many. Suppose now EG trade, which I have added all the severity. Again, I am adding one more. I cannot have a same name, but something different. So EG trade -A something. Okay, I can have management zone which is called EG trade, and I don't want to have all the severity, because I am from the development team, proper that full stack development team, which I need only which I have configured as a custom alert. Okay, I don't need other than that, because if these are things goes down, you call me so that I can bring it back. Example, suppose any APIs goes, post API, delete API, these are the API, right? In the production, it goes down. I have configured some custom alert for that, internal API, something, which any custom alert you can talk about, which is only database application development team, they can fix it. Then I can create a custom alert, I can do the save changes. So that what happened is, whenever I am doing the integration, because now when I'm doing the integration, either a Slack or email or whatever, I need to select the alert profile. Now, if I see this, just I'll showcase you that. If I'll go to my integration tab for problem alerting notification, you see here, for any integration I am doing, I need to select my alert profile. So that only that severity alert, because I have added custom severity, right? On that EG-trade-A. So only custom alert for that management zone. In that also I want to filter, I can filter with the help of tag, when we'll talk about tag, and then you can send alert to that team. So only 5-6 alert which is related to your development team, that alert they will receive that.
Okay, thank you. And the second question I have is like, can we manage this alert profile also using Terraform?
Yes.
Okay.
You see here, alerting, Dynatrace alerting, where we have alert profile, you see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this is your alert profile, and then notification also you can manage. Okay.
Can you, Ravi, can you show just, I know this is off topic, but can you be able to show a little bit overview of Dynatrace and ServiceNow integration, since we are talking about the alert? Just quick overview for like 2 minutes.
Okay, for ServiceNow integration, right? So what you need, first thing, you should have alert profile. Okay, so I'll I'll give you the quick overview. I'm not going to do the configuration. You need a first alert profile. So for ServiceNow, whenever we are doing, we cannot, because if you go with each management zone, it would be difficult. Okay. So it would be difficult. So better, what we used to do is we go, Nistal, I am not, I think he shall upload today. Okay. So I am just doing for global, because always as a best practice, you have to go with the global first thing. So alert profile you have. Then you go to your problem notification and discuss with ServiceNow team what are things are required. Okay. Either ServiceNow should be managed. It would be managed, yeah, SaaS. Am I correct? If it is SaaS, then what are things? They need to create one user, which is called DT, any username. So as a Dynatrace, we can say create a DT user. Okay. Then once you create a DT user, and with the help of that user, I can access to Dynatrace. Okay. Not Dynatrace, Datadog, ServiceNow portal. So with the help of that user, I can log into the ServiceNow with the username password. I can log in that. Okay. Once you log in, which is a minimal permission, not like create something. It has a basic what are the permission, and ServiceNow has a two types of license. Okay. You know that, right? One is ITSM and one is ITOM. If you go to your Dynatrace ServiceNow store, which is called store.servicenow store, if you go, they have plugin available. Okay. So you know that, right? ServiceNow has a two types of license. One is ITSM.
ITOM.
One is discovery for ITOM. Okay. ITOM. Okay. So one is for ITSM and one is for service management. For incident service management, we have ITSM, and one is you have ITOM. So if you go to here and type Dynatrace, you can understand what are things are required. Just to type Dynatrace, you have many integrations. Some of them are paid, some of are completely free. Depend on that what kind of service now you are using. Sometimes your plugin will be free for all the plugins based on that what kind of license you have taken that is completely on the ServiceNow. Okay. So it is organization will vary. So when you have whatever service graph connector, you see this, right? This too, it required your ITOM license, which is called discovery license. Somewhere you can see in the prerequisite license requirement. Somewhere you can see, if you read that somewhere you can see it is required ITOM. Okay. Okay. It required ITOM. Now, okay, because it has a service graph observability. Okay. For second thing is which has ITSM. If you have ITSM, then you can go with this license, which is a free incident integration. Okay. Yeah, event management that you can go. So these are the integrations. So you need to install in the ServiceNow store. Then they need to create a user with the help of that credential, you can access to the ServiceNow. And what kind of permission, you can go with the latest document. Some permissions are needed, what kind of permission that user need. And then you go to your Dynatrace and add that instance ServiceNow display name, like ServiceNow integration. ServiceNow integration you can mention, and then you give, if it's a instance identifier name, on-premise URL, username, password. Okay, if it is a SaaS, then directly you can give the instance identifier name. Okay, that ServiceNow URL. Okay, and username, password, and description you can change. So description, suppose so this many things you can add in the description. Okay, so suppose you have a state, problem impact, problem ID, problem title. You need problem URL also, you can add that. Whatever things you can add in this. And then once you have added the description, then select the alert profile and select the license, and then use text format to send the alert, whatever things you want, and then select the alert profile with the global, and then you send the text description, it will send the alert. Once you receive those, so now ServiceNow will receive an alert, everything in the as a raw in the log. Now they have to create a lot of business rules, because now they have to do CI mapping, right? Configuration item, whatever the entity you have onboarded in Dynatrace, it should available in their CMDB database. All the CI mapping has to be done in the proper way, so that it should not create any what you should say, it should not create any blank alert. Okay, whenever you detect a problem, you should have a proper CMDB, one of the big problem statement for all the organization. Okay, if you have 100 alerts, if you receive out of 100 or 10 alerts, you will receive as a blank without any information. Blank alert will get triggered. Okay, so now once your CMDB mapping is done in the proper way, they used to filter that based on that rules, and then they used to send that alert to that each assignment group. So they have a multiple application, so they have created a lot of assignment group. Then you can send the alert to multiple assignment group. Okay, so that's how it works
So
with the
you
service
said
now.
you said CMDB mapping that is done by ServiceNow admin, right?
Service now. Only you
It's not
have to.
our
It is
responsibility,
not
right?
your headache, but however, you have to sit with service now team. Why?
Okay,
Because
and
why?
work
Because
hand.
this will tell you, hey, for this network belongs to which host. It should map with what are the hosts. This entity ID I should map with this. This application belongs running on which application. So you know better way, right? So you can guide them so that they can have then see in the Excel proper way, and then they can upload their CSV. Okay, so there is a multiple way to upload that CI CMDB
Okay.
CI upload. Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
worked with in the ServiceNow team in the past. They update some rules there on their end.
And sometimes you have a managed, and because Dynatrace you are using SaaS. So sometimes to allow them, because you receive a Dynatrace, suppose you have added email integration. Example, I'll tell you. Sometimes when you detect a problem, because if in the Exchange team they have not added that, if you Dynatrace receive a problem, they will see some different kind of you have received a problem. Then if you release that problem, then only it will trigger to your email. Okay, they'll detect that why from other outside of the organization, why they are getting the alert, right? So that is the reason sometimes you are having those kind of secure organization. Mostly in the bank it happens, in the finance sector it happens. Then you have to inform to that even any integration you do, you have to tell them that this many things you have to whitelist.
Got it. So the service now in the portal, you need to install that plugins with incident or the event management, and then create a user for the service like Dynatrace, so that from Dynatrace side we can access this service
I
now.
think Gaurav can help you in explaining this part. Hi Gaurav, can you hear me?
Sorry, I was talking on mute.
Okay.
So, ServiceNow has, as Ravi already explained us, that is, it has two licenses. One is two type of softwares. One is ITSM, another is ITOM. ITSM is primarily for incident change, problem change management for that one. ITOM has discovery and as well as event management. So, if you want to create your alert and registered in ServiceNow as an event only or as an alert only, not creating an incident directly. So in that case, you have to use the plugin and the requirements which require for the event management. So he shown earlier two of them, right? One is incident management, one is event management. But if it is you want to create the incident directly, so in that case, you have to use incident management. For both of them, there are different type of access required for the users which you are going to create for this integration in ServiceNow. For event management, you need an access to the event management table to create an event there. And then primarily for, if I'm going too technical, so you can stop me there. But for that one, first it goes to the temporary table, and from there event convert to the alert, and it records and it comes to the console. So second is, if incident creations, for the incident creation, every organization has different processes. So in that case also, our Dynatrace will send the alert to the table before incident creation, and there they have to write, means like ServiceNow expert has to write multiple rules, like Ravi already explained to us, that business rules, which eventually pick the information from the alert body, a JSON body of the alert, and then pick the information and map to the different fields, whatever it is required, and it takes the values from the CMDB also, whatever is required, and then create the incident, because every incident requires a certain values to be part of, because it's a mandatory. So that has to be done by the ServiceNow team. So who's ever doing that integration, they have to help. So our requirement from the Dynatrace is, one, get a username and password, because and that user require on the basis of the requirement, if it is allowed to create incident directly, so we need an access to the incident management, so we can create the incident. I mean, like that user. If it is an event management, then in that case, it has to create an event. So that access is required. So in both cases, once we get the access, provide username, password, create the username, means like message body, ask them that's what record they get, and then help them that is to understand what are the different messages part it has, and then they will help further to capture the values from the message body and then map to the event management table and as well as to the incident management.
Thank you, Gaurav. Really appreciate it. So, Gaurav, like you said about the. Okay. Thank you. I mean, like my question, you said like create user, right? User and password on the ServiceNow side for
Yes.
Dynatrace.
No. You just
Okay.
stop because you want to send an alert from Dynatrace to ServiceNow. So once you want to enter ServiceNow, which means that you need username password there, which you have to configure in the
ServiceNow.
Dynatrace. Because when Dynatrace is reaching out to ServiceNow and it knocks the door, then it will ask, okay, what is your username and password? Then only I will allow to enter. So for that purpose, you need username password from ServiceNow team, which has required access. If you want to go to the event creation, then you need event related user access to the that user. If you want to create incident directly, in that case you need incident related access to that user, and you have to configure this in this console. So when Dynatrace reaches out to ServiceNow for registering the record, it should have all appropriate information with it.
So it is on the ServiceNow or the Dynatrace, the user.
User has to be created, Srini, on the ServiceNow, and you have to enter the credential, username, password, and ServiceNow URL, okay, in Dynatrace. Understood?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
service
really
account, you can say.
It kind of service account. That's it. That is the reason I
Okay,
told you,
normal
right?
user, it's the
DT
service.
user. That is the reason I told you, right? It is a DT user account. Okay.
So when you are showing on the screen, right, it shows the username and password also when you are doing the integration there. I
And you
saw
see here,
somewhere.
it will ask a username password. Suppose you want to connect, sending a data to any tools, other tools. What do you need? Either username password with the help of credentials. Yeah, other applications. Sometimes you heard about this API token. Yeah, BRL token. Required, right? So service now work in the username password. If other tools, maybe other integration you do, okay. Sometimes suppose you are sending a data to Dynatrace to other open telemetry stack, what you need instead of username password, we need API token, yeah, BRL token, this kind of information. So any tools, when you are sending a data from one tool to another tool, you need some credential to send the data. Okay, so either you need a
So instead
service
of
account, yeah,
username and
you need
password,
a
we are using the token,
yeah,
right?
username and password. Service now works in the username and password only.
Password, but here we are using the token ID.
No. Here in the ServiceNow integration,
Not here. Other places for that, like we are using.
other places. Suppose I am sending a Dynatrace data to Open Telemetry, example collector. Then I need a API token. Okay.
Got it. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav
Thank you,
and
Gaurav.
Vasu.
So that's it for today. I think we are okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss about anomaly detection. Okay. Other things, custom alerts, other things, and we'll see that a smart script topology, all those things we'll discuss tomorrow on this. Okay. If you have any questions, we have 10 minutes, so we can discuss.
Ravi, database kind of alerts comes to which profile? Means
Database, so you have, so what kind of alert you are getting from the database? So when you do the
we are
database
we are
integration,
planning to set up database
running as a suppose, and so you have two types of database. You understand that? Two types of database?
on-prem and cloud, like RDS.
So RDS. So one, you have a database as a service. You understand that? So suppose it is running as on the RDS, which we used to call database as a service. So you have RDS under, we have, it could be MS SQL, it could be your Postgres, it could be Oracle, it could be MariaDB, whatever things. Okay. If it is running on Azure, you might have your Cosmos, Azure Cosmos, you might have Postgres cluster, you might have NoSQL database. Okay, there's a mini database, right, which is available on the Azure side.
Yeah.
Same goes to Google. Now, There is another database which you have running on your server, which is your, suppose you have taken a database on MS SQL's Windows Server 2020-25, year 2022, you have a database, okay? So MS SQL database, okay? Yeah, you have any, so basically on the on-prem side, on-prem environment we have, when you have on-prem data center, most of the database will have as a database running on server. If you are using on the cloud, mostly the database would be running as a service, okay? Now, if it is capturing database as a service, then you will get a alert in different alert profile. If it is running on database or running on server, you need to think what component is going down. You need to understand that. If it is process went down, something, then it could be different way, because the both integrations are in different. Because if it's running on server, different way, you can see the data in different way, and if you're running as a service, you can see the data in different way. Okay, so depend on the database, you'll receive a data the alert. Sometimes you'll have a resource also, sometimes you'll have a availability also, because your database is not available, something like that. Sometimes you'll receive alert errors also, depend on that.
And one more thing, Ravi. So, can you possible to show it one example using Monaco and one example Terraform?
Terraform, I can see not one example, at least 5 to 6 examples. I will show you that. Not right now.
No, not right now.
It is there in the class. Okay. Now, Monaco also I will show you for a few things. Okay, one, two.
So now everybody is looking automation point of view. So nobody want to go this old way.
First thing, okay, why all the things, right? Terraform, Monaco will be doing little later. First, you need to understand the Dynatrace concept in deeper level.
Last one I mean.
Okay, just I am giving to everyone the heads up. First, you need to understand the Dynatrace concept in very deeper level. Okay, once you understand the Dynatrace concept in very deeper, then if you go with any automation tools, either you are going for Terraform, yeah, Monaco, anything, it would be easier for you to write a JSON. Okay, otherwise you will think why this needed, why that needed. Otherwise it will be easy if you know that concept in the very well. Just to understand the JSON and to configure that, modify the JSON, it would be easier for everyone. So first, everything, once you understand all the Dynatrace concept in the manual way, in the proper way, then I will show you how you can do for Terraform. I'll create some alert profile, I'll create some management zone, I'll create some synthetic monitoring, all those things, and I will show you that all the things, like with the help of Monaco also I will show you that. Then I will do some automation for Ansible, for agent installation, for Windows, for Linux, how you can do that, so that it will be easier for you, all the things. Then I will be doing that AWS integration, Kubernetes integration, how you can, now you understood how you can install Dynatrace agent on the server. We can also do how you can install Dynatrace one agent on as a container, as an operator. There's a multiple way, right? So these are the things, it will be easier for you to all those things to understand. And then you understand the complete holistic picture on the Dynatrace, then you go attend any interview.
Now they are asking, Terraform and all Monaco.
If you go for any interview, I will tell you, any interview, if you go for any interview, you can able to crack the interview. I will tell you, my students, most of the peoples are placed